Magnificent morning, exciting afternoon, and wonderful evening. Today, this is this is Carla from Rehan Allahwala's World of Connections, and I am here to speak to the famous Taha Shaikh. And I'm not sure if he wants me to call him Taha Shaikh. He will tell me in a moment. And he is 15 years old, running a very successful entrepreneur program on different ways to guide people to be successful on social media. I am very excited to be able to talk to him, that he even wants to talk to me. And we're going to learn a lot from him. So stay in touch, keep watching. And before we go anywhere further, I want to tell you that this show is sponsored by the Institute of Peace, which is an online organization promoting peace, one conversation at a time. Taha, please introduce yourself.
So, hello everyone, and my name is Taha Shaikh, and I'm from Pakistan. I am 15 years old, and currently I am completing my higher studies here in Pakistan. And with that, I am an entrepreneur, and I am working as a freelancer from the last 3 years. And I have been working with multiple hundreds of international clients from all over the world, and it's really like great to be here.
It is amazing that someone your age is doing what you're doing. And I'm wondering, what was it that inspired you to do this work?
So basically, when I started off in 2019. I started learning some skills. So I was just using social media. Someday I was scrolling through Facebook or Instagram. I don't remember so properly, but I was scrolling some of my social media and just saw a video of some freelancer who was uh, telling people that there's something called freelancing, and you can try it. You can try it, and you can make income out of it. So I was really inspired from that, and then I tried to research somewhat about this. I went to YouTube, went on Facebook, uh, and then I joined some courses. I started learning, and then I started freelancing in 2020. I completed learning all the skills, and then I started freelancing in 2020. I started by creating some of my freelance profiles. I created my profiles on some platforms, and I created my profiles on social medias, and then I started working with people from all over the world.
I know you said the year you started, but how old were you at that point?
I was somewhat around 13.
And did your parents say, hey, get involved with social media? What was it that made you decide, hey, I want to get on social media and I want to do this work?
Yes, my parents really supported me in this, and they were the ones who said like, yes, this is something good, and you should obviously like do this and give it a try.
Wonderful. And had you always been interested in working with a computer? Or, I mean, when I was that age, we didn't even have computers. I have to admit, it makes me sound very, very old right now. But what was it that made you think, oh, I'm going to work on computers and I want to do this?
So I always had, an interest in art. So since I was a kid, I always used to do paintings and sketches and such stuff. So, but I didn't knew that this could also be done on computer. So I made sketches and paintings and all that. So in 2019, I got to know that this work could be done on computer as well. So I thought that's something amazing and I should learn it. So I started learning design because I had my interest in arts. So I started learning graphic design. I started making some artworks on my laptop, and then I also got to know that this artwork and the all this stuff could be sold and you could get an income out of it. So I thought it's something amazing.
Did your father do a lot of work on computers or?
My father is like from the IT background. He knows about computer and stuff. So he guided me like about how to, because I didn't know much about computer, how to use it properly or everything. I just used my phone at that time. So my father guided me about the basics like of how to use the computer and what's all the things in it. So just he guided me about that, and then I rest I learned from YouTube and did some courses.
What kind of work does your dad do?
He's an IT professional. He works for a private company.
Why am I not surprised to hear that? So when did you as a kid begin? Don't even like to say as a kid. In my mind, you're still a child, but you've accomplished a lot. When did you begin working on computers?
I was 13.
You were 13 when you started? Did you have your own laptop or?
Yes, I did.
So your father encouraged you to begin
Yes,
working on a computer. And
yes,
what
he did.
was the first thing that you did on your computers? Did you learn to
The
type or?
Yes, the first thing I learned was to type because I was really bad at typing in the start. So my father was really good. He's really, like really fast in typing. So I learned from him how to type properly, and then I saw some videos on YouTube how to increase typing speed and all. So that's how I started.
So you started learning on YouTube.
Yes.
And you learned to type on YouTube. And I have to admit, when I was a kid, I hated typing. But when computers were invented or started being used in the early 90s, I had a principal at a school who said to me, not to me, but to the whole staff, she came in with her laptop and showed us how to use the laptop. And about a week later, I was determined to get a Mac laptop, and I started then. What was the first thing besides learning to type that you began doing on your laptop? Did you
Besides
upload your pictures? Go on.
besides typing, I because first I was doing learning typing and all that. I was doing it on my phone, but then I got to know that I could also watch videos and learn this stuff from a laptop. So I enrolled in some courses, and I watched those courses on my laptop. I still remember it was my summer vacations in 2019 when I was doing all this. So yeah, besides typing, I was learning and doing some stuff. I learned how to how to draw things on, like make things on Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator. I learned that from YouTube.
So everything you did on YouTube, Rehan always says, YouTube it. And when he
Yes.
began saying it, and I kind of like, YouTube it. Yeah, I'm not sure that's how I want to learn, but it's very effective. So, what was
Yes.
the first YouTube class that you started?
First YouTube. Sorry, I didn't get you.
What was the first YouTube training that you started with?
You you on YouTube first. Like I started with. I saw some channels. Like first of all, who were teaching this stuff that I was interested in, because I was always interested in arts and all that stuff. So I saw some channels who were teaching this, and I got really inspired from them. And then from those channels I got to know about some other channels as well, so I started following them as well. And after that I got to know about some private courses uh, in Pakistan that was really at its peak in 2019. So I thought that I should also enroll in this course, because it was also teaching design and freelancing. So I also enrolled in that course.
So, you did a lot of courses on YouTube that summer. How did
Yes.
your parents feel about that? Because obviously you weren't going out and playing games with your friends. You were stuck to the your
Yes, because sometimes because I was always very like athletic. I always loved to play football since my childhood. So during that time, I stopped playing that much games, and I just sat back and just used my laptop. So sometimes my parents were like quite concerned, and they said that like you're always on the laptop, and give yourself some times and play some games as well. So then I started doing some activities as well. With that I managed my time. It's a bit difficult to manage all these things, but if you give it a try, then with time you can manage all the things.
Was it you were at that point you were 12 years old or 11?
i
And
was i was 13 at the time.
and being athletic for someone your age is very important.
Yes.
Did your did you have trouble moving out of the computer to athletics?
Not that much. In the start, I had some difficulties because because like I said, I love to play football. So I didn't play football for like at least 4 5 months, and then suddenly going out and playing football, it was a bit difficult for me. I couldn't, give it that much time. Like if I played for half an hour or 20 minutes, I just got exhausted and I went back. But then after time, I started playing again, and then I gave it more time, and then eventually things got better, and it got good.
Now, do you have any brothers and sisters?
I have one brother and a sister as well.
Are they?
I,
I'm here. Just here I am. Sorry, my laptop fell. I was so interested that I did not have my desk working as I normally do. I need to get my phone. But tell me more about what you've been doing, because I would like to know if you are well rounded in what you do, or are you kind of just stuck with your computer?
like I said, I started learning all those skills. So after learning all those skills, I thought like I have to implement these as well somewhere. So then I got to know about some freelancing platforms like Fiverr and Upwork. So I created my profiles on those platforms, and I created my profiles. I uploaded the work that I made. I made some designs. Basically, there were logo designs for some companies. So I that was basically my practice work. That was my portfolio. So I uploaded that on these platforms, and after some time, I got like some client. I still remember it was around $20, my first job, and I worked whole night for that. It was for a business card. It was some woodworking company in the US, and they wanted a business card for the company. So I designed that, and I was so much excited that like I was up the whole night and I was working on the design. And when I sent them, they were really happy and they were really pleased with the work.
Now, do you use Canva?
Uh, I do I do use Canva, but mostly for the professional work, I use Photoshop and Illustrator. But for social media posts and some things like that, that posts that I post on my social media, some images that I have to post on like my Instagram or Facebook, or I was thinking about creating a YouTube channel as well. So I was about to create my cover image and thumbnail for YouTube. So for that, I like to use Canva because it's quite easier.
I can't figure out how to use Canva. I would love you to teach me how to use it.
Sure.
Um, you're using Adobe Photoshop. Isn't that a little difficult to use? Or did you
Uh,
teach yourself?
it is for like if you start in the start, it's difficult, but if you go step by step, it becomes easier. Like when I started off, it was very difficult, and the interface of Photoshop and everything in there, it was very complicated for a 13, 14-year-old kid. So but when I started watching some videos on YouTube and how to use it, then I develop more interest. I develop more curiosity, like which tool to use. And like when I first time I saw some tools and how they work in Photoshop, I was like really amazed that this could also be done. uh, so I remember I had a photo of mine and I edited it in Photoshop. I changed its background. That was the first thing I did in Photoshop. So it was quite amazing for me that you can also change your background of your picture in some app or some tool.
I would love to learn how to do that because it's sometimes I would love to change the background here to a more pleasant background. Of course, I like the
Yes.
pink. So you did all of this since you were 13. Are you also going to school or are you just fixated on?
At that time, because it was COVID had just started, so in 2019 it was, like I said, it was my summer vacation, so I learned all these skills and stuff, and then I implemented it in 2020 when COVID started. So basically I was free and my assessments, my exams had just finished, so I had a lot of time, a lot of free time to work on this. So I didn't have to go to school for some months, and after that when my classes started, they were online basically. So the online classes, you don't have to give that much time. You have to give like 3 to 4 hours in the morning. So it became a lot easier for me in those days.
Wow, I am impressed. Did you also upload some of your drawings at all?
Drawings, yes, I did. I did on my social media on Facebook and Instagram.
Can you show us some of them?
Yeah,
Or
sure, I would love to.
would it be easy for you to do now? Or is it going to
Uh,
be a little challenging?
I'm not sure if I can show you right now, but it is on my Instagram. Uh, if I check it.
Now, Rehan's constantly saying, because he is my friend and I hear him saying, we can all earn using YouTube and Canva and, different platforms on social media. What would you suggest someone start with as a beginner?
I would suggest first of all, if someone is starting in this field, he should first of all look what he is interested in. Because when I started, I was always interested in arts. It was my passion. So I started off with that. So if you're interested in something, it's your passion. So when you do that work, it won't feel like work. It would feel something fun. You won't feel exhausted even if you like just keep on doing it for hours and hours. You won't feel exhausted. You feel fun. So first of all, I think one should identify what he's enjoying at, and then he should work on that skill. For example, if you have interest in arts and art creative mindset, so you should go for design itself is a very like broad niche. In design there are many different niches like fashion designing, logo designing, and many other things. So it's a very big industry. There are many different skills. You just have to find out where you are developing the interest.
Wow. Do you find this work to be inspiring to you?
Yes, I do.
What is the most inspiring point that you enjoy?
Mostly, I like, other than graphic designing, I'm also working on e-commerce and Amazon. So while working on all of this stuff, I like when I get some free time, I like to, paint something or sketch something. So I always keep doing that because it's my passion and I cannot leave it. So it's a great thing to have it, and everyone has his own passion or interest. So this is my interest, and I love to make sketches and paintings. So mostly in the evening when I'm free, so I make different sketches of people or paintings of some landscapes or something like that. So this also helps me in creating focus. This helps in focus, and this help because when you sketch or when you draw something, when you do some creative work, you have to be focused, and it develops your mindset as well. So it's really helpful for me, all these things.
Now, do your parents also help develop your positive mindset? Because you have an extremely positive one for someone your age.
Yes, they do. They always support me because in this industry or like in this field, there are always like good times or bad times in everyone's life. So I am really glad to have parents who always support me in every aspect of my life, and that's something great.
Does your mom also work or is she in the house?
She is in the house. She does not work, but she knows what I'm doing, and she knows about like what's going on.
Had she helped you?
Not that much, like because she does not know much about the computer and all those stuff. But she helps me in like time management, and because uh, a lot of the times I get exhausted because there's a lot of work to do and I don't know how to manage it. So she really supports me and calms me down that it's okay, no issue, it could be managed, you just have to focus. So that's something really good.
Now, has it always been easy for you to focus?
Not, I would not say that easy. It was difficult as, in the middle, and this because in the start I had a lot of time, so I could have managed. I managed everything easily, but in the middle, like around a year ago, it was a bit difficult for me to manage everything with like my studies as well and all this work. But yes, I managed it somehow, and now it's good. It's I could manage everything fine. I have some teammates with me as well who help me get the work done.
Now, your teammates, do you consider yourself the quote boss or CEO of your company and they work with you, or they work, you give them directions?
No, not like a boss, but yes, we work like a team, and I just help them whenever they need some guidance or they're stuck somewhere. So I try my best, to help them get out of the trouble.
And how are they doing? Are they your good friends that you've had
Uh,
since childhood? Feel funny saying since childhood to you, but
not since childhood, but yes, they are my friends.
so they're also very young, upcoming entrepreneurs.
Not like they're not the same as my age. They're like elder than me.
Oh, and where did you find them?
I found them on social media.
Did you search for them, or did they find you and say, hey, we want to get to know you?
Yeah, they found I didn't found them. They found me themselves, and then they were interested, to get some help, and they just basically they wanted me to answer some questions they had, and then I answered that questions, and then we had some understanding, and then I said, why not? You can join my team, and we can work together.
And what do they do for you?
We work on different tasks, like I said, we work on design and as well as e-commerce on Amazon, so they get different tasks done.
Wonderful. Do you have anything that you want to add that maybe I forgot to ask?
uh, Not something really. I just want to say that many people ask me, and they have one common question that uh, they're like, you are very young and you have achieved so much, so like how did you get there? So the thing I want to say is that you should first of all focus on the journey. The result is it's the incentive of the journey. So you should focus on the journey and enjoy the journey as much as you can. So if you enjoy the journey, then you will enjoy the result more. So just focus on the journey and just be consistent, and you can achieve everything. You can achieve great results.
And that's very true.
Yes.
I never thought I'd be working on social media, and look at me now. If you had told me I'd be doing this 5 years ago, I would have laughed my head off. I want to thank you for spending some time with me today. And I hope we get to know each other better. I would really, really want you on the kids show, but we'll talk about that afterwards. And I
Sure.
want to thank those who watched and those who may watch on replay. And with that, can we wave goodbye? Oh, let's not forget, let's thank the Institute of Peace for for sponsoring this show so I could speak to such a wonderful young entrepreneur. And let's wave goodbye. Bye, everyone.